See, I love that, man. That'll get me going, man. That'll make me like, if I'm having like some editors, publishers busting my ass, I just play that and then I turn into a leopard and go fuck up the editor. You know? I think it was Jerry Lee that said being called a legend gave him the creeps because he always thought a legend was something dead. And there's a lot of truth in that. I think what makes them legends and what they've accomplished has been so enduring and influential that it's almost escapable. They've endured as their music has endured. Like I say, these people are survivors. But I would say these people didn't have those options of like going to college, of deciding on an occupation. I mean, what occupation could Jerry Lee Lewis have ever had in this world? I mean, my life would have been nothing without a soundtrack during good times and bad times. And you know, rock and roll has been basically that soundtrack. But the music, to me, is a source of strength. It's a source of enjoyment. It's a source of inspiration. And those are all beautiful things. I mean, it's so great that these things and these guys and these women are getting photographed because, I mean, I remember meeting some of these people. Like when I met Muddy Waters, you get the feeling, well, these people are always going to come back and see them next week, and you don't realize that life is short for everybody, you know. And,
yeah.
This is
Wanda Jackson.
Yeah, Wanda. Hey, look, she's still at it, posing with her guitar. And before I give you my reaction to this, explain the difficulty.
Where do I even begin? You know, it was difficult across the board. These guys don't always have managers. They definitely don't have publicists, and there isn't a press. They don't need to be photographed. And so I'd spoken to everyone. I'd spoken to his son. I'd spoken to his secretary. So I figured I'd just show up, and I walk back there, and I get ushered into his dressing room, and it's just him in the dark. And he's like, sit down next to me, and he has these huge hands, and I shake his hand. I'm like, it's such an honor to meet you. Working on this project, I would only need 2 minutes of your time. And he goes, he's like, well, I'm gonna make a deal with you. I'm gonna invite you up on stage in the middle of the show, and I'm gonna let you take 2 photos, and I'm gonna look at you, and that's it. And I was like, well, it's not really what I do. We're doing this thing, and we're photographing all these people. And he goes, so I'm gonna give you 2 photos. And then he just slapped me on the leg, and he goes, all right, get out, kid. And that was kind of my Chuck Berry story.
Well, if you looked at it from the outside and saw it happen to somebody else, you'd sort of think it was funny. Well, I don't know if you waited or just got lucky, but the sky is right, and I've always loved that idea of the crossroads, which actually goes back thousands of years. It's like, I mean, this was poetry, and there's like another crossroads. Chess records. I mean, the stuff that must have. We know what came out of there, but what went on in there. Well, here we go.
Sonny Rollins, upstate, at his house.
Sonny Rollins, man. Great stuff. I mean, he was a real thing. This, I gotta say one thing, man. This is a great one. But all my life, Jerry Lee Lewis is the only person I've met who've egomania suits. Like with anybody else, it's like, get out of here. With him, it's like, it just suits perfectly.
Yeah.
You want to hear, okay, now you got to understand, I got like every record Jerry Lee ever did, released and unreleased, and you want to hear my favorite one.
Definitive one.
The definitive one.
If someone was to ask. What does rock and roll sound like? What record?
Okay, well, it's going to surprise you because it's going to be late in his career.
Everything's fine. All them cats are drinking that wine, drinking that best pure delight. But when they get drunk, they singing all night, drinking wine, so they